Gotta look at that opponent. 5. Good. 6, 7, 8 here. Look at Andre's technique. His stance is short, it's good, his chest is straight. This is where you're gonna get the power. All right, 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
This is what I used to do.
Yesterday, this is D. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. E. Say I'm using the same finger in G. Same finger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you start playing piano, it's really simple. You just gotta learn it. That's all. But let's do it together.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Pull-Up Experience. We have another great edition for y'all today. Episode 257. We have the lovely Miss Paige Ross with us today from Our Plate Entertainment Center. And it's a long time coming. I appreciate you coming on and grace us with your presence tonight.
Yes, thank y'all so much for having me. I'm definitely excited to finally be here. I'm just excited.
Come on, let me tell you one time. Hey. We got Steve in the back doing this 1, 2. Then we got Miss Brittany. We'll talk about it later.
That's right.
Couple, yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. With that being said, we talk about camera. I wouldn't say it on camera when I say everybody knows. But any journey has a great beginning, right? And clean born and raised?
I'm from Detroit, but I live here. I basically live here since I was 6 years old.
Okay. So you are Clevelander now. You know what I'm saying? You've been here long enough.
Yes, I'm definitely a Clevelander now.
Yes, ma'am. 8 Mile, and I was playing. We was talking about camera like everyone knows only about Detroit, the 8 Mile, and then everybody knows about Cleveland is the part that
it's St. Clair.
That's it. Yeah, so that's funny and whatnot. So growing up, what part of Cleveland would you say you had to say call home?
I grew up in East Cleveland.
Come on, EC.
Yeah.
So were you out and about for a Shaw weekend last weekend?
Oh, I definitely was.
Okay.
I definitely had the grace to see what was going on, check out the picnic.
Yeah, okay. Yes, ma'am. So, okay, with that being said, was entrepreneurship, was that always something you gravitate to growing up, or was it a plan, or was it in the plans?
Yeah, definitely. Like as long as I can look back, I've always been a hustler. I've always had that hustler mentality. I've always put things together to sell. Like when I was in college, this is the biggest thing that I did. I used to work at Dillard, so we used to get a really good discount. Or we used to get shoes, like Nike tennis shoes, for $17. So what I did was, I know, right? So what I did was I put school supply stuff in a bag, a little pajama set. Sometimes you can get pajamas on sale at Walmart for $5. Put those in a bag with school supply, and on college to make my money in the beginning of the college. That's why I was walking around selling book bags to the kids.
Hey, you was a hustler.
Yeah, that's
different.
And shout out to the auto retail workers, because I remember just penny, and I remember them when it's on clearance, you put the clearance in the back so nobody get to it.
Yes, me and my friend definitely used to be stashing our stuff in the back.
Yep.
Better not nobody touch our stuff.
Right. Or you purposely be like, I know I'm gonna be on clearance later on.
Yeah,
or on clearance and don't get a deal.
Until it get marked all the way down.
Yep. See, I already know. So okay, so you always had entrepreneurship. That's
Yeah.
So when did you? So I'm guessing was with that transition where you working job, were you getting skill sets as you're working these jobs that you were able to use later on when you started your own business?
Well, actually, I worked at Lincoln Electric for 7 years. I was a PC board assembler. I never saw myself honestly owning a business. I never had any experience running a business before I started.
Yeah.
But what happened was I had my son. I was dealing with postpartum depression, real bad. My engineer that was at Lincoln Electric, he was telling me his wife had a yoga studio, and I'm like, I'm not about to do no yoga. He's like, I would come in, I would be all angry, I would be kicking and throwing stuff and just being just upset, really dealing with the postpartum, but having to be at work. So I finally was like, okay, I'll just come to one of the yoga classes, because it was every other day he was asking me, literally begging me, So I went to the yoga class, and it was just a 30-minute yoga class, and it really changed my life. Like it really changed my life. It made me calmer. So I signed up to I wanted to do something for a long term. So a yoga teacher training, it was for 6 months because I wanted to be committed to something. So I said I didn't plan on being an actual yoga teacher, but I just wanted to do the training.
Okay.
So a part of the training, you had to have 122 training hours. So I'm like, well, who am I going to train? Like, I'm really good with kids. Before I had my own kids, I always had everybody kids. So I was working at the loft. Shout out to Ray Jr. I was working at his loft, and he was like, oh, well, yeah, if we don't have anything going on, you can have your girls up there. Y'all can do yoga. So I brought my nieces up there, and this was right during COVID. So I brought my nieces up there. And she's like, "Can I bring my friend?" So I'm like, "Yeah, you can bring your friend." So like at the end of COVID, when people were like trying to force their kids back outside,
sure.
it was kind of like the perfect time. So I'm like just in there, just teaching the kids what I learned during that week. And I just like posted it on Instagram. And the power of social media is really crazy. So people started like commenting, like DMing me, can I send my daughter? How much is your classes? And I'm like, wow, like I'm not even charging for these classes. So I'm like, just bring them. So they would bring their kids, and I started off with like 7 kids, and every week it just grew. I looked up, I had 45 kids. What? Coming to a class once a week for an hour learning yoga.
Yeah.
And their parents, the feedback was amazing. Their parents would be like, "Oh, she's at home practicing these poses. She's meditating in the morning. She's meditating before she go to sleep. She's calmer." And they were just like saying, just giving me such a good feedback. So I ended up putting a price on it. And it just like took off from there. I ended up making more than I was making at Lincoln Electric, teaching 1 day a week.
Ooh.
And it just took off from there. And it was like I had so many girls, I kind of like outgrew the space. I outgrew the space because like 45 girls plus the yoga mats.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang, like what do I do from here? Like something like I need to figure something out. And so then my mom, she had started like looking for me a building, and maybe about 6 months later, I was just telling my mom and just like praying to God, like, dang, like this is nice. Like I always, when I became a mom, wanted to do something where I could still spend time with my son, like be a mom, because when I was working at Lincoln Electric, everybody know about Lincoln Electric.
Yeah, everybody know.
You work a slave shift.
Yeah.
You work a slave shift and you work swing shifts. And it's about 10 to 12 hours. So it's like I really, honestly, didn't really have time to be a mom because I was always at work. My godmom was keeping my son, and he was just growing up, and I was just missing all his milestones because I was at work. So I just prayed about it, and then my dad ended up having a stroke. But it was like, people say that, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because my dad ended up having a stroke. I went down to Florida to go get him. My dad is a big guy, so he needed more help. Like I couldn't just have him, like once he came home from the rehab, I couldn't just have him just cooped up in the house. So I ended up like going to his doctor's appointments, and they said that I could get FMLA, and it really was a wrap after I got FMLA. Like it was just a wrap after that, because it was like I was like spending more time at home with my dad and with my family, and able to make a living just teaching this one yoga class a week. So I just decided to just take a leap of faith and just give it to God. And he made it happen. He made it happen, and he make it happen every month. And I'm just thankful for the opportunity. And it's just really been a great experience. I've touched so many girls and boys' lives, because I've been doing more classes with boys too. So I just touched a lot of kids' lives, and it makes me feel so good on the inside, like knowing that I'm such a positive person in these kids' lives.
Yeah, that's good. I read that a couple times.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Now, would you say that it was strictly social media that really helped to enlighten the world to know that this has existed as far as your yoga classes, or do you think it was word of mouth? Do you feel like it's a combination of a few things? Like, what helped really, get the word out that you have this phenomenal class for the youth?
Well, I definitely feel like it was a lot of it had to do with social media, but a lot of it word of mouth as well, because I got a lot of girls that had cousins or that had friends, and like their parents told other parents about it, and then they ended up bringing their kids.
Yeah.
So now it's like wherever I go, like people just know me as I Play Paige. Like, oh, she got. Now I've expanded to major red, taekwondo, aerobics, hip hop
I'm gonna
dance.
ask that like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you supposed, I want to shout out to you because you supposed to the culture and the kids and stuff they normally wouldn't be able to be exposed to in normal circumstances. Because I'm like, yoga.
Yeah, and that's the thing and I feel like that's what's so dope about my program is that I have something at my center for every kid in the family. I have boy activities. I have activities for little kids. I have just activities for everybody there. So it's like my center is like a one-stop shop for parents. Like, okay, your daughter will be here on Tuesday, your son will be here on Monday. So
come on now. And like I remember back in the day, so back in the day was the Boys and Girls Club, right? For us growing up, right? And the Boys and Girls Club, they had nothing. And I was being all the way real. Shout out to the Boys and Girls Club because kept us out of trouble, right?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It was like I can't remember. It was just like the craziest stuff. Like it was swimming. I think you had church like swimming, and that was about it. I think like doing like crafts, something like that. I didn't want to do. I didn't want to swim. I ain't gonna do crafts. So I'm out there playing foosball with my time. You know what I'm saying? Not learning anything that was gonna be. I could whoop some butt in some foosball today. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you're showing kids, like I said, they were showing yoga and they're implementing their everyday lives. So shout out to you.
Yeah. Thanks.
So let's talk about those first few days when you first started out, right? How you know the right pricing? Because I know black people, they're gonna be like, no, that's too high or that's too low. And then if it's too low, people ain't gonna respect it. So how do you find the right price that works for you? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they either price high or they price too low. And like you said, you had to where you had enough kids coming in where you were able to quit your job.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So how do you know you had the right pricing in place for you?
So honestly, pricing is really something that I deal with, and it's something that I'm really struggling with because it's like at my center, I don't just have, even though my center is in Shaker Heights, Ohio, I don't just have Shaker students. I have kids from Cleveland, I have kids from Menor, I have kids from Kinsman, all different types, all different areas. So a lot of times it's like I'll get a kid that super talented, but then their parent can't pay for it. So it's like it just puts me like in a bad situation. It's like I want to just keep my pricing at a reasonable price for everybody. That's why I'm so glad that I got a scholarship fund now.
I'm going to ask about that too. That's what's up.
Yeah, we got a scholarship fund now. So now the scholarship is for $50. Any kid that joins my center, they can get a scholarship for $50 for 2 quarters. They'll get $50 off.
That's dope.
So that's something that like I'm happy about because we're just in a situation like in life right now where parents are just really having a hard time.
That's a fact.
Like groceries, I went to the grocery store the other day, and why was bread $4.39?
Listen.
A loaf of bread was $4.39.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, should I just get him a Lunchable or buy a loaf of bread? Like,
I remember back in the day when, you know what I'm saying, cause I got 3 kids and whatnot. And I'm like, man, taking y'all out to eat is expensive. Getting the girl, like, it don't matter no more. It really don't matter. It's just like, I'm gonna spend money on another or whatnot.
Yeah, it's like you gotta eat, but you know that it's tough. It's tough, and then it's like a lot of parents that really want their kids to do it, but they can't afford it.
Yeah.
So this scholarship fund that I play was granted is really great. And the good thing about it is neighborhood based. So it don't even ask the scholarship application. It don't even ask like any questions about your income, like how many people is in your family or anything. It literally they just want to help kids from each neighborhood get involved in structured after school activities.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
That's good.
So with your business, and it's steadily growing, when did you realize like, okay, I need, first of all, you already, touched on the fact that you needed more space. But how about when it comes to employees? Like, do you have others that are helping you with the children as you're having all these different classes and needing the help, I'm sure?
Yeah, so that right there is a big thing because it's
Mm.
like for 3 years I've basically been doing like just running a business like by myself.
Mm.
Like I hire instructors, but like me
Mhm.
just doing like all of the administration work
Yeah.
and just basically just doing everything by
Mhm.
myself. So I mean it's hard because it's like you can't really trust everybody.
Yeah.
Because when you start like telling people, giving people the game on your business, then that make people feel like, oh,
I can do it too.
I can go do this, and then it's like just put you in weird situations where you'll be like you thinking that, oh man, this person really want to help me, but this person is really just plotting, just getting all the game to go do something, steal your business basically.
Yeah.
So that's been tough for me. But I recently just partnered with a behavioral health agency. So with that, yes, that's definitely going to be exciting. So with that, I'm able to bring in people that want to work,
Yeah.
and the agency will be able to basically like pay them. So that's going to be great.
That is going to be great.
That's dope.
Take some of it, off of you as far as the weight. So that's good.
Yeah, because like what I told myself, like I have like over 100 kids. Like
Phew.
there's just no way that I can give all of my attention to every kid.
Yeah.
Like it have to be split up.
Yeah,
So
for
with
sure.
the qualified behavioral health specialist, each kid will be assigned to a counselor basically.
Oh, that's
Okay.
dope.
So any type of resources that they might need, they'll be able to get it through their counselor.
That's awesome. That's good. That's real
It
good.
is.
Well, shoot, let me ask you this. I say it all the time. God has to have to grace you with a certain spirit to deal with kids.
For sure.
Definitely.
How do you handle? Because one thing to handle business, but it's another to have a business where it's dedicated towards children. How do you regulate? Not regulate. That's a terrible word. How do you manage working a business where kids are involved? God bless you.
Yeah, for sure. Kudos to you.
I mean, just showing them love, but it's really about tough love because it's like nowadays you can't. I mean, shout out to the parents that gentle parent, but gentle parents is like it's tough. It's tough to gentle parents, and you gotta have like a lot of patience. But really, just showing these kids tough love because they know that you love them, they know that you care about them. So it's like even if I have to get on one of my kids, in my center about doing something, they respect me. They know that I'm getting on them because I love them. Yeah. Like I build a relationship with every one of my kids, So just showing them tough love.
You better me because I'll go straight pootie tang.
Nah, I'm not gonna act like some days I feel like, you know what? I probably should put a belt to your butt.
No, that's what's up. So okay, let me ask you this. With that being said, what do you feel like is the biggest misconception people have with entrepreneurship? Because people figure you got her own center, she's doing her big one or whatnot. Not knowing that this come with this come with that. Like, what is the misconception people have?
People, when you have a business, people just automatically just think that you just have money. Yeah. Like I have people, and not throwing anybody under the bus. Like somebody will meet me and will be texting me like a couple days later, like, hey, I'm short on groceries and I really need some grocery money to feed my kids. And I'm like, I'm short on grocery money this week too, Yeah. See, people, they look and see like, oh man, she got a full center, but they don't calculate overhead. They don't calculate insurance. They don't calculate rent. They don't calculate utilities. They don't calculate all the expenses that it takes to
Yeah.
run a business.
Mm.
You know, because if you took away the overhead and you just had a business, now that would be something totally different. That would be something totally different. Then it'll be different, But yeah, I feel like that's like a big misconception. Like people just automatically just think that you just have money. Like, and when I first, that's how they feel. Like, oh yeah, but she got it. Like, let's go ask her. But like I said, when I first was doing it, I was doing it for free, basically. I was doing it for free, basically, and then when I moved into my own center, out of Ray Center to my own center, I was basically having to just, bring the kids to my center and basically just like letting them do it for free just to get some kids and stuff into the center.
Yeah.
So that was really tough. Yeah, that was a tough part.
No, I got you. So that being said, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you motivated doing this every day, day in and day out? Because what year is this for your business?
This is my third year.
Shout out to you, by the way.
Thank you.
What keeps you going though? Because listen, they say most businesses fizzle out after year 5 or whatnot. So, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially now, every entrepreneur, when I look up and I'm like, okay, do your thing. But a lot of them don't stay in because they're not motivated. They don't get the sales that they were looking for. All this stuff. What keeps you motivated?
And just knowing that these kids are looking forward to being there every week.
Yeah.
That's good.
Every week, like I know, like just by talking to the parents, like sometimes the parents will be like, "Oh, she was practicing last night," or like they're looking forward to coming.
That's dope.
Like I try my best not to ever cancel the class, and the parents will get all mad, like, "Oh, it's a blizzard outside, and you're still having class," because these kids are always already calling me, asking me, "Are we still having class?" So basically, just knowing that these kids, they want to be there, they're excited to be there, and then knowing that my activities with data shown are making these kids better.
Yeah.
Like I send home quarterly progress reports. Like I don't have to do this. It could just be majorette and yoga.
Yeah.
But I check how these kids are doing in school.
Wow.
I send a progress report home to see how they're doing at home, making sure that you're not going to just go to school and then come here and do taekwondo or come here and do dance. You're going to make sure your room is clean during the week. You're going to make sure that you're getting good grades.
Fully rounded kids.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to build, because when I was younger, that's what my mother, she instilled in me. Like when I was younger, my mom had me, and I did basketball, I did volleyball, I did karate, I did everything when I was younger. But I knew that if those dishes weren't clean, and my room wasn't clean, I was not going to no extracurricular activity. So yeah, I just, I try to like instill in these kids what my mom instilled in me when I was younger.
That's good. So let me ask you, how do you decide what activities go inside the center? Because has any kid came back to you like, I ain't doing that? Like how you put an activity up and then the kids went to it or whatnot? Like how do you gauge what activities to have inside the center?
No, I really ask the kids what they want to do.
Okay.
So we started out as yoga. Then the girls, after the year, they're like, okay, we're kind of tired. They've mastered all the poses, basically. So they're like, what are we going to do next? So then we went to hip hop dance, and we did hip hop dance for a year. And then after hip hop dance, they're like, oh, we want to do majorette. So I just basically like find the instructors, and whatever they say they want to do, I'm going to find the best instructor in Cleveland to teach them that activity.
Okay.
Okay. That's good stuff.
Now, what goes into you picking the right instructor for these particular classes? Because I'm sure that can sometimes be a task too, picking the best.
Yeah, and definitely, and that part is kind of hard.
I'm sure. Because
what I'm realizing is that sometimes just because you're, for example, a good dancer, it don't mean that you're a good instructor. So, and then I work with kids, so I have to really, really screen these people, because just like a kid will, somebody will come here and the kid will find your social media.
Mhm.
So if you're a great dancer, but you're on social media posting half naked pictures, or if you're on social media smoking weed, or getting drunk every other day, like my kids, they're going to see that. And I don't want my girls like getting on there like, oh yeah, my hip hop dancer, my instructor was on there twerking and or smoking weed, because they're going to find it.
For sure.
So that's some of the stuff that I look at. I will stalk somebody. Like if I'm looking for somebody to be an instructor,
you check.
before I even reach out to them, I'm checking. I'm looking at their social media. I'm like looking to see what they're posting.
Come on now, let that. All y'all taking notes, because listen,
Right. She checking that social resume.
Exactly.
Okay?
Clean up your social media or
Social
whatnot.
media resume. That's good.
That's good. Ooh, that's real good. That's a gem right there. Like, let me take off that 2005. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that kind of stuff is important, because at the end of the day, even though you can dance, I want a good role model for these kids.
Come on,
Like it got to be somebody that's gonna be a good role model. Then it's also had to be somebody that can handle kids.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I have big classes, but you can't be in here getting frustrated or
come on,
or making a mistake and cussing these kids out. You can't be in here doing that.
That's why I applaud anybody dealing with kids, because I know me. I'll be like, now Jimmy, I just told you. That's why you got. God bless the small kids and the people who take care of the small kids. Because man, listen. I love my kids, but I'm like other kids.
That's it. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's it. That's where it begins. It is.
No. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Okay. With that being said, though, would you say so? Here at Pull Experience, we're big on mentorship. Who you say was a great mentor you in your entrepreneurship journey that helped you in cultivating this business of yours?
Well, I learned from a lot of people. So if you doing something positive, I'm gonna look and see what you're doing and see what's working for you, and I'm gonna try to do it for myself. So I work with a lot of people. And I just kind of like see what works for them, and I'm gonna ask some questions. I'm gonna say, hey, how you get that, or what you do to get that? I'm not that type of person that's like scared to ask for help. I'm gonna ask how you do this, or walk me through it or something like that. So
that's good stuff. So with that being said, though, if you give your younger self advice, or right before you started your business, what advice would you give your younger self that you wish you knew when you first started the business?
Learn about running a business. Like, take some class. Like before I started this, I wish that I would have took some business classes, because like I said, I was working at Lincoln Electric. I didn't know nothing about running a business. Yeah. So it's like mistakes that I've learned, even with like doing contracts, working with contractors. Yeah. Like my biggest mistake, I remember I like gave somebody the money all up front. Like
they don't even know you.
And I'm like, oh my God. And then it just took him forever to, because he got his money. He got money, right. He gets me when he gets me. You know what I'm saying? So like little mistakes that like was big. It was something small, but it ended up being something big. Yeah. So it's just like stuff like that. I just wish that I would have did more research first, because like I said, I'm like, okay, the rent is going to be this. This is what when I first got my business, this is what I was calculating. I said the rent is going to be this, the light bill is going to be this, and the gas bill is going to be this. I didn't add in the dumpster. I didn't add in security. I didn't add in software. I just didn't add none of that kind of stuff in. So it's like I'm thinking about like, okay, this is how much money I have to come up with a month. But after month 3, I'm like, damn. I thought that I needed this much, but I really needed this much,
You do like how you do a paycheck, like, all right, I'll get paid on Friday. Take care of that. No, I see.
Yeah, then by time Friday get here, you like, I'm not about to get with that money, So yeah, I just wish that I would have just did a little bit more research first before I actually opened up my business. But you learn as you go. You definitely learn as you go, and it's people that'll help you. Everybody isn't a gatekeeper, but if you like pulling somebody to the side and like ask them, or like schedule time. Like you can't just call somebody like, hey, how you do this? Like you gotta call people with and respect their time, so that's what I learned.
So can we in the future, would you be up for mentoring other people who want to start centers in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Anybody that want to start it, like, and I tell people that all the time. I'm like super open to working with people. I like when I first got my center, it was hard. Like I was trying to get people in there. I was like literally sitting at the table, just like praying to God, like, Lord, please let somebody come in here. And it was like later on, like when people start coming to support my business, they were like, oh man, I saw this and I wanted to reach out. And I'm like, dang, I wish you would have reached out. I was literally praying that somebody would have reached out and said, hey, can we do this activity together? Can we collab or can we do something like that? So I just want to let people know that I'm definitely open to working together and collabing. And somebody had said, and it's like really stuck with me, collaboration is at the top and competition is at the bottom.
That's good.
I like that.
So we want to teach the kiddos on podcasts. We can come through one time.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'll let Brittany head that joint or whatnot. Like, speak better with the kids. I set up the equipment.
You can't deal with Jimmy. So listen, I know that you also mentioned in the beginning that you are a mom as well. So what is it, mompreneur or something like that is the phrase for it. So how do you find balance with business? Because I'm sure sometimes you have to take business home too and get that sorted out. And mom, so that way your child feels the love as well. How do you balance it all?
Hey, that is something that I am still struggling with.
That's all right.
Honestly, I struggle with it so bad. And it's like, I'm not going to say that I put my kids second, but I have a great kids father. My kids father, he's great. My mom is great. My sister, she's great. My brother, he's great. They like really help out with my kids. But what I have started doing is doing office hours. So like, any other time, I mean, like, before the summer or whatever, a parent will call me at 10 o'clock and I'll just answer the phone. And they'll be calling like, I can't make the payment tomorrow. This and this happened or whatever. And I've been looked up and I'm talking to this kid for 30 minutes now. I'm supposed to be giving my daughter a bath. So it's just like certain stuff. Like I'm like learning how to turn it off. So now it's like I have days where it's like before I used to feel like I always had to be at iPlay, but now I'm like I've hired people to where like if it's Tuesday and I want to go watch my son play, I can go watch my son practice football. So that's what I'm I'm working on now because it's a struggle. Because it's like you don't like what I'm learning is that you can't put somebody like totally in charge of your business. That just don't work. So and then it's like you have to be there because people start
stuff go off the rails.
Stuff start going off the rails. So it's like if I'm not there, I'm watching it. I got camera set up, I'm watching it or whatever. But it's hard. It's hard because it's like I be feeling like I want to give these kids everything. My biggest thing is I never went without. I've always had more than the average kid. I've always had, my mom always made sure that I had everything and some. So it's like, shout out to my mom. Shout out to my mom and my dad and my stepdad. Like, I had a great support system growing up. So I just be feeling like, dang, I want this kid to have that. So that's something that that's something that I struggle with. It really be like a struggle for me, but just like kind of like just learning how to just let things be. So
I like that. Learn how to let things be.
Yeah.
Titles don't know. It might just be okay. With that being said, see, this is why I don't need wine, y'all. Every single time I had a wine, I'll be like, I had a question that just fly out my head.
Oh no.
They come back to me. Don't worry.
Okay.
There we go. Came back. iPlay. Where did the name iPlay come from? Like how many iterations did you get to before you got to iPlay for your business? Because I'm like, I wanted to ask you that. Like, where did that come from?
So what's actually crazy is that I actually before I was like thinking about having a indoor kids jungle gym. I was inspired by this lady right up Mayfield. Have y'all heard of the Kitty Jungle?
I'm not him.
Well, it's like really for like toddlers, but you can have like a little birthday party, and it's like the indoor, like the soft play stuff.
Okay.
And there, that's what I feel like that's what I was like really starting off to do. And then when I was thinking about iPlay, I was thinking about like having it just be like a center where kids can just come and play. But then I'm like, no, I need to do this. Need to be constructive, you know. So I don't know. iPlay just came to me. It just came to me, and it just ended up just sticking. So that's just what I roll with. Is actually iPlay Kids Activity and Entertainment Center. So that's the long name for it. But yeah, it just came with me, and I just stuck with it. Yeah,
you know, rock with it. That's what's up. Okay, so listen, talk about the past, talk about the present, talk about the future. What the future hold for you and iPlay?
So I want to expand, and I'm definitely going to expand. Like I said, like my biggest goal is that I want to have I want to reach kids from all neighborhoods. And
so like franchising them joints.
Yeah, I would want to have a location like in Euclid. Yeah. I have a lot of students that come all the way from Euclid.
Wow.
So I would love to open up a location out in Euclid. I have students that come all the way from the west side. I would love to open up a location there. But like future, my biggest goal is to take an iPlay back down to Jacksonville, Florida. I was after college, I moved down to Jacksonville, Florida, and I love Jacksonville. I just love living by the beach and being by the beach.
Up here.
Yeah, because I hate the winter. I feel like I was born in the summer. I was born in June. I feel like I'm a summer baby. I feel like I need to be warm all the time.
I got you.
So it's like for the future, I would love to live in Florida. I would love to take my business down to Florida.
Okay, I don't blame you, girl. I'm with you.
Yeah, but these winters are brutal, and I hate being cold. I hate the whole hustle and bustle about the winter. So I would like to end up in Florida.
I got you. So yeah. So
hey, listen,
exactly.
Definitely.
Listen, you looking to franchise? You looking to buy into a franchise? A proven business. Come holler at me.
Definitely hit me up because it's like people when they see my business. Because I definitely have $1 million business. I'm gonna speak that into existence too.
Did that a couple times.
People like hit me up and they're like trying to figure out like what they can do to add to my center, and I'm always open for that because it can only make my center better.
Come on now.
You know, like people they say, because what I do is like, what do you specialize in? If you're a great art teacher, I art. We have art classes now. You know, so that's basically like how I structure my business because. All kids don't want to dance or do taekwondo. We have great kids that's good at art or that's good at science and stuff like that. So I pride my business on having something for every kid. So if you talk to a kid and they say, "What do you want to do?" "Oh, I don't want to do taekwondo." "Okay, well, what do you want to do?" Because I have it, or and if I don't have it, I'm going to have it.
Okay.
So our podcast coming up. Don't worry.
Definitely, you have to get that set up, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, are there some activities that you have thought of that you would like to eventually execute and make that something available for the kids? Like there any that's maybe upcoming that you can share?
Yeah, definitely. A boxing class.
Oh.
So we did when I first started. Shout out to CP and Unc. Charles Pew Fitness, CP and Unc. When I first was starting my business, CP, he was like my fitness instructor because like after I had my baby, I was like trying to lose all this weight, and his uncle was amazing. He's so good with these kids. I mean, he's just good with people.
Yeah.
Like he's good with boys because like he's very stern. But what I love about Unc is that he's stern and he's firm, and the kids they confide in him and they respect him and they want to learn from him because they know that he's like the greatest. He's one of the greatest teachers. So it's like boxing, iBox is coming. Me and CP, we're going to be collaborating. We're going to be making I play bigger with boxing classes.
That's good.
And then also STEM labs. STEM labs like science labs. Shout out to D-Tronics.
Shout out
just
to
thinking that.
listen, so he said, I'm like, what
We
about
got
Asia?
somebody
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
I love her. I love her
Yes.
so
She's
bad.
She's part of the group.
She's part of it,
You-
yeah.
Oh, she's
She's
alumni.
alumni.
She's
yeah,
alumni. Okay.
Now you all part of the gang now.
Yeah, definitely. But D-Tronic, she is amazing.
Yeah,
Like
shout out to them.
she's introducing these kids to science.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I met her and my kid came and did her science, took her science class, and just the way that she talked to these kids, she literally treat these kids like they're little scientists. Like in the class, like she talks to them. They have lab coats. They have lanyards. They have protective eyewear. She's amazing.
Yeah, she is.
Shout
And I can't wait to have her come, you know, teach these classes at iPlay. Teach,
Come on
you know,
now.
the science lab class.
I love that,
That's
though.
a great collaboration.
That's yeah, it really is.
I see it. I see it in my future. I've reached out. We've both been a little bit busy, but 2025 is gonna happen.
Okay.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I like that. That's what's up. So we both was like, we have a person.
Oh, y'all were thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's one of the greatest in the city. If you mention if you mention like science lab classes, people
know her.
People know of her.
Yep.
She's like the greatest. She build everything. She get the kits and stuff together, and she's super reasonable. So she make the experiences, super reasonable for the kids. So it's just she's great. She's great.
That's dope. Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that we like.
Yeah, we was thinking the same thing.
And y'all were both thinking about the same
I was
person.
like, I know who she could get.
Yeah, she's great. And that's the kind of stuff to, that type of collaboration.
That part.
Yeah.
Is great to bring that, because just like what she always say, like if you ask a kid what's their favorite science experience, some of them never even did a science experience besides learning about it in school. But a lot of the schools that took science experiences out, they don't have science labs. They just have like science book work where you're just learning about it. And I feel like that's a huge disservice to these kids, because experiences, it's not all about reading and learning and stuff like that. Experiences is important. Hands-on stuff is important.
Yep. She's exposing kids to be the future scientists of tomorrow. So
Definitely.
Shout out to you. Shout out to all the great people who are giving Black and brown kids exposure to these things that to a whole new world they probably wouldn't get exposed to. So thank y'all for what y'all doing.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
And shout out to our podcast coming up. We gonna do something. Now we got to create the podcast of the future now.
Yes, definitely. Our podcast coming real soon.
Yeah.
We gonna set that up, y'all. We gonna set that up.
No, listen. Because I feel like now I felt calling now. Like we gotta do it now.
Yeah, because all you gotta do is just put it out into the universe.
Yeah.
Put it out into the universe, and I feel like whatever I put into the universe comes to me. So if I say it, it's happening.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll tell Jimmy. Now, Jimmy. Okay, no, it's fine. We'll work it out. Okay, bet. Okay, so this is the part of the interview where we talk about our staple questions. 257 episodes. Everyone like a snowflake, right? And since you are a Clevelander now,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you are a master of collaboration. Unfortunately, Cleveland has a stigma of not being a place for collaboration. How do you feel like we change that stigma of Cleveland not being a place for collaboration?
Well, I don't really have that problem.
Come on, say that. You say everybody will collaborate with me.
I mean, yeah, because like if I feel like nobody has ever really told me no, that they don't want to collaborate with me.
So they said they lost what they do.
Yeah, like they never said no. Like what I'm trying to do, and sometimes we'll talk about stuff, and you got to put a date on it. That's what I'm realizing. I'm saying, okay, we're gonna collaborate and do this event on this day at this time. Plan it out into the future, and then that's how you make it happen. Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they collaborate with me. They want to collaborate. I'm open. I'm very open to collaborating with people. So I really haven't had that. And it's not really like a lot of kids' activity center. So it's like I don't really have that much competition.
Yeah.
So
no, listen. I like it. Like I don't know what y'all talking about.
She ain't got that problem.
She got that problem.
I know that's right.
That's good. Well, With that being said, who would you like to collaborate in the future? What entity, what person, what entity or corporation you would like to collaborate in the future?
Diva Divina.
Okay.
I want to work with her so bad. I just got I just created a models girls group. We did the Nordstrom fashion show. We have another spooky Halloween fashion show coming up on October 27th. Come check us out.
Okay.
But her work is just great. Like I'm so inspired by all that she do and like how she changed runway modeling. Like now modeling is more to it than just runway modeling. Just like one model just walking down. It's like and I don't know if like she's the creator of it, but she's like the first person that I've saw. So I apologize if I didn't give the right person the acknowledgement that they deserve, but she's great. She's great.
Okay.
The way that she like do like couple group triple girls together and with the routines, it's just it's amazing. It's so cool to see. So her, of course, Diana, Miss Diana.
Okay.
The big majorette dancing dolls. So she have I'm noticing that she have different locations in every city. Except for Cleveland.
Okay.
I'm getting it set up for you, baby. I'm getting it set up for you. I'm finding this talent here in Cleveland. I'm getting it set up for you.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the two most popular people that I would like to work with in the future, and I'm definitely going to work with both of them.
Listen,
in the future.
I know y'all watching. Hit up Paige. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's something like 2025, because I'm going to be doing some big things by next year. Like some real big things by next year. So I'm just excited. Right now I'm just planning.
Yeah.
Right now, just praying to God that He continue to bless me with a vision. Yeah. So that's what keeps me going, because I feel like every other day it's like something pops in my head. So now 3 years later, I finally got a notebook.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, I came up with a great idea yesterday, but what was it?
You better than me, because I was like, what was it? Or whatnot. And shout to the group. Shout out to the group, because like I put something in the group or whatnot. They don't even know it. I'll be doing it for a note later. Because if I don't, it'll be gone.
Yeah, you gotta do that. You have to. And it's like,
and we get older too.
Yeah, getting older, you be feeling like, oh man, my memory is good. Like, no, it's you're in your 30s now. So,
we ain't that old now. Come on. We ain't that. But I will say this, because you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, you got the critter juices going. You want to make sure you get it.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right. It's writing it down, because hey, if I don't write it down before, like within the next 5 minutes, I will forget.
Yeah.
I will forget what we talked about. We just talked about that. I forgot. I'm sorry, I didn't write it down.
That's me all day. And I'll never forget too, speaking when we were talking about D-Tronics, that was one of the things she said too, was that, because I asked, like, how do you come with all these experiments? Because, you would think that, you run dry, you have, like, a blockage. She's like, nah. She's like, they just keep coming to me, and I just keep jotting them down, writing them down. She's like, I have and I could relate, just even with my podcast, just lots of topics. 3 a.m, I'm waking up, putting it on that. So it is proven fact. You gotta write it down, because you've been forgotten by morning or the next day.
Yeah.
Like you said, the next 5 minutes, it's like, it was so good.
And it was so good. It was so good. And you can't let that precious knowledge just go away.
That's
like,
it.
You gotta write it down.
That's right. You gotta be first. You gotta get it together. So listen, we've been having the time with you. I told you this was gonna be good.
Look, choose words.
I just want you to know.
I'm so glad that I came, because
come on now.
I really almost talked myself out of it.
Well, we're glad you came too. And shout out to you, Juan, because it does it every single time.
Yes. I am loving this wine.
It's been delicious. Give me another sip.
And Lucy is up, okay?
It's nice and sweet.
It is. She knows
like
what she's doing. She knows what she's doing.
She do. Because that right there. It's doing it right there now.
Come on. So listen, when we talk about legacy, because clearly, girl, you're going to have a phenomenal one that is going to be for the history books. But when it comes to legacy, what would you like the legacy to be for you as an individual, and then for iPlay and everything underneath you business-wise?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really great question. As far as for me, like I want people to remember me as like always just being that person for kids. Like a person that like a kid can confide in, you know.
Yeah.
I want a kid like when they're in my space, I always say, "Oh, this is y'all safe space." So I want like kids to be like when they get older, you know how like you'll think of somebody that you when you were younger.
Yeah, for sure.
I want people to be like, "Oh, she taught me about hygiene." Or, you know, she taught me about this when Miss Paige taught me about this. That's what I want. That's what I want to be remembered as. I want to be remembered as a good person. And as far as for I play, like my dream, my goal is that, and I know my son, it's like anything that boys have to do there, he's doing it. He's doing it. And my daughter, she's only one, but as soon as she can catch a beat, she'll be doing majorette and, you know, all the girl activities. Like, for example, my Taekwondo master, his son, he's the master. So he's been doing Taekwondo, you know, training and teaching Taekwondo for over 30 years. He's the greatest. Shout out to Master Odom. So he taught his son. So his son ended up creating his own Taekwondo studio when he got older.
Yeah.
And I just love the dynamic of it because it's like, you know, and what I tell him all the time, because his son is in South Carolina. So like here he don't really have anybody that can follow in that footstep unless it's, you know, his son come back here. So it's like that kind of legacy. Like I want my son to be like well trained where he can teach these type of classes when he get older. I want my daughter to be like, you know, well trained to where, you know, my daughter and my son and my daughter can run this studio together, but they can be the instructors. So that's like kind of like what, you know, I see for like, you know, my family legacy. And as far as I play, I just see me just having I play in every city.
Come on now.
Because it's so unique. It's like I have, you know, most centers, it's like it's either a dance center or it's a martial arts or, you know, it's just after school.
It's not all encompassing like
that.
So that's what really makes my center unique. Like I plan on just having all type of activities. Like in my new center, at I Play, I have like events on the weekends. So I'll do like kids' birthday parties or baby showers, like, you know, calm stuff. But at my new center, I want to have activities for kids on the weekends. So that's what I see. That's what I see, like, you know, for me leaving a legacy.
That is. I love it. So listen, I'm sure that we're not the only ones that have just been so inspired by your story. Again, there are some that have been motivated by your story. You know what? I'm gonna do this. So for, you know, that young lady, that young man, what would be, if we take your interview and just kind of condense it down, what would be the 3 takeaways someone should be able to gather from tonight's episode?
Pray for a vision.
Come on now.
Pray for a vision. Pray for a vision, and then also pray to be able to maintain that vision. So, you know, the discipline to be able to maintain it.
All right. She said,
I mean, I feel like that's for me. That's what I, you know, like if I could inspire somebody, that's what I would basically, I would tell them. And then I would say, just start. Just literally just start. Like, you never know. Like, I never expected me teaching yoga to little girls for me to just blow up the way that I did. I never expected that. I never saw that. I never dreamed of that before I was here. So, you know, those are the main things. And just don't, like when they say, I know it's like so cliche or whatever, but never give up. Like, I swear I make so many mistakes. I don't always do the right thing. I'm not always on time. It's like I have a lot of flaws, but I might be late, but my people know I'm coming. They know I'm coming. They know that she gonna be late, but they know that I'm coming, you know, and that's just me being real. Like, that's good. And I show up as myself. I don't, you know, try to be nobody else or, you know, say or act like I'm the same way around you, him, my mom, my dad, my brother. you know,
Authentic
I'm
you.
always the same. So just be yourself and show up and just never stop.
That's
Come
it.
on now.
That's it.
That's so good.
That is.
With that being said, Paige, this is the most important question of the whole entire interview. Where can people learn more? Where can they sign a kid up for classes at iPlay? All that good stuff. Where can I learn more about you?
You can check out my Instagram page, which is iPlay page. You can check out my website, which is www.iPlayAfterSchoolActivities. You can check out my Facebook. iPlay Clee is my Facebook. You can go to your local gas station and pick up a flyer because I'm sure some flyers in there. So that's the way that you can contact me. And if you guys are interested in signing your kids up and grabbing one of these citywide scholarships, call 216-224-7451.
Okay. So listen, guys, you're watching the episode right in the show notes. Will be the information you're looking for. So ain't no excuse as a well, I know it's right there. Okay. Sign your kids up. Sign your kids up already, okay? Sign up for our podcast coming up. Okay? I keep on saying it, but it's real though.
Yeah, 25. Remember this today.
Yeah.
Episode 257. They said it was going to be an podcast.
Yeah, no, listen, absolutely. I'm down. So yes, we're gonna do that. So we thank you so much, Paige. And listen, y'all, Paige is nervous. I'm like, Paige, we gotta be no nervous girl. You know what I'm saying? You did amazing.
So good.
You did
I
so
didn't even know.
good.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
And you know what? So I can say to the camera, I love the fact that we are a lot of people's first podcast, and everyone who has come on after they get done, they're like, I enjoyed myself and I felt comfortable. And I think
I did. Y'all definitely made me because I was really nervous because I see y'all and I'm like, dang, these people, they have great talking points and you know all of that, and I'm like, but you know, you feel like you're not qualified, but you are qualified.
That part.
Because Jesus made you qualified. So
title episode. And plus the wine don't hurt either.
yes, because the wine will loosen you up a little bit.
Delicious.
Shout out to you, Wine does it every single time. Commercial. Boom. Guys, we are raising bills, right? Listen, guys, please forgive us. We are not doing Day in Game for Sweetest Day. I'm sorry. We're gonna do a bigger and better Valentine's Day. So you're welcome. So listen, stay tuned for more news on that. What we have not coming up, because we are known for our events, and one of the events we have every year is the Day in Game. We're just switching it from Sweetest Day to Valentine's Day. So all my single entrepreneurs, you know you're out here. Stop playing like you ain't single. Single, not that pretend single. Single.
We're not the pretend single.
Yeah, it's real. You know, it's so funny because when we put out there, everybody be like, I'm single, but it's going to be recorded. Like, yes, bro, it's going to be recorded. What you mean? So somebody will see you being single, okay? So stop playing, but it's coming up, okay? So stay tuned for that. Also, guys, we will be having our Let's Talk About It panel discussion. How I forget the last time around. We will talk about mental health and entrepreneurship. We realized that during the holiday season is one of the top times of the year where people are committing suicide. So we want to make sure we have a panel discussion to talk about how we can deal with that as a community, as a culture, and make sure that we're preventing as many suicides as possible. Just navigate this whole thing called life and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. That's on November 10th, right at the greatest place in the world, the Ford Bistro, our other headquarters. And look out for more information about that. So if you are a health professional or have any health services, please let us know. We want to be able to make sure that we have those available for those who are going to be at the event. So hit us up for that.
And make sure you guys check out my podcast, Beauty Told. Again, give you guys weekly episodes with great guests where we take either relational, lifestyle, or financial topics and we expound on it, because the overall goal is we want to create a positive change for you. So you don't have to go through some of the pitfalls that we did. And if our story was able to make that change, we know it was a story well told on Beauty Told. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you for the ones that's already supporting your girl. And thank you for the ones that are coming soon.
That's right. If you rock with us, you rock with Brittany. Stop playing with me.
That's right.
Okay. What else you got?
Podcast course.
Yes. Yes. Guys, listen. Our podcast coming up for our play, but we're also before that. We have the course. The course is coming. The ebook is coming, right? The classes are coming. The mentorship is coming. And we pause your podcast for you because in 2024 and beyond, just like social media was hot, how the website's hot, podcasting is going to be hot. Not even hot, it's going to be essential for your growth for your business, products, or services and whatnot. Because how can you differentiate yourself from the next person? Create a podcast. How can people know more about you? Create a podcast. How can you create unlimited content for your social media? Podcast. It's like the one-stop shop of everything you need. So, guys, the number one podcast is going to show you how to do it. Okay. Listen, stay tuned for that. We got so many things coming up for that. And it's not even funny. So just stay tuned for that. If you look at the subject podcast, let us know today. And then also, do me a favor. As you're watching this episode, write in the show notes, are there amazing people who are part of this amazing team who are doing amazing things? For sure. Steve is the greatest of all time. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Listen, hit up my man. Okay, you're looking for videography, photography. Shout out to Bree. Yes. If you want amazing reels, content, hit up Bree. Hit up you. Listen, I don't know what you're doing. If you're not looking at a video show, what is wrong with you? Okay. Brittany be hitting them times. I'm like, dang, Brittany, you know what I'm saying? But she's doing her thing and whatnot. So you rock with Brittany. Shout out to Sam. If you are looking for a host in the city, Sam is doing her big thing. Yeah. Listen, I forgot. Beyond. I'll talk about it in a minute. Listen, if you look for a host, hit up Sam, okay? Listen, if you guys are looking for a virtual assistant, you're looking for someone to help your business, Michelle is hands down the best in the city because she's will help us at the Pool Experience make sure our guests are scheduled, make sure our administrative stuff is done. She is the missing piece to your podcast or to your business as a whole. So hit up Michelle.
We got the kid with the 2 wines. How can we ever forget the queen?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Let me patronize those amazing people who are doing big things here in the city of Cleveland. Lastly, I want to say Embrace Thy Curves, October 19th. Yes. We will be doing the red carpet interviews for that amazing event. We will be doing after show interviews also. We're going to have a great time. Shout out to Darcia and what she's doing for just the community as a whole, but just a great time. It's going to be a great fashion show, so get the tickets right now. And our 2BUE's own, Sam will be hosting. I'm like, Sam, you'll come to the red carpet? She's like, well, I'm going to be hosting. So listen, okay, so we doing it big in the city. So do me a favor, get tickets today. And lastly, I want to thank you. Yes, you, the person watching, you, the person listening, because as of right now, we have 7.8 million views and growing, and we're 16.7 thousand subscribers. That is crazy, y'all. That is crazy. That's unheard of. But it lets me know you guys want to hear great stories like Paige's, and you guys love our city. Don't deny it, okay? We just want to thank you guys and just continue to like, share, comment, and just thank you. That's all we can say. Guys, 257, roll to 300. It will be it. Bring how many times we look up, it'll be here. It'll be here. We like, dang, we get 300? Dang, okay, yeah. No, we ain't stopping no time soon. So y'all just continue to show us love. We thank y'all. So peace.
Thank you.